Hello and welcome to another side play. Me, Move 6 of Sanctuary. Before we start, if you're interested in playing this game, you can get it for free on itch.io. But, well, I'm actually looking up because, like, side play, I'm a bit less, what would be the words? Orderly than usual. Though that isn't saying much. Let's see. Yes, you get early access to, newer chapters for $5 a month on Patreon. So, on last Let's Play, or side play, whatever, we did a quick look, which consisted of us finding some highborn guy out in the wilderness. We're just like an adventurer slash hunter ourselves, and we helped him, brought him to the town, told him a couple of things, and now he's going to like the guild so that he can like qualify for stuff. I don't know, it's been a hot minute. So yeah, he's probably gonna knock their socks off. Ooh, sort of set face. And continue. I'm doing this because, like the author said, hey, it's like 2 hours for the entire thing. So, yeah. Revealing a large hall, empty except for a rack of weapons on the left, and a table near the back, seated with the 3 judges. Striding with confidence, that guy, the prince guy, walks towards the center of the room carefully, maintaining his air of elegance and pose. You wait at the back to not interfere. Among the 3 of them, the middle one seems significantly shorter, and the one to his right is sleeping. The figure on the left of the table speaks, with his voice amplified by magic. Welcome to the Adventurers Guild. Are you Sir Ragti Frick? That is correct. Delightful. We're glad to have your talent. We shall begin your entry exam at once. That's the thing they always find funny in like speeches of like maybe times before World War like 1 or 2 esque, when it's like, here's this king or something that's doing a speech to a large crowd. It's like, wow, he has a big booming voice to be able to reach, far away, or like off his castle. Because like, I don't know, seems anyways. The figure stands and walks towards Raktivurk. His increasingly apparent fins and heretical tail, reveal his sharken identity. First section, melee combat. Pick any weapon on the rack, or one that you've brought. My staff will do. Very well, just remember, no magic, and you must stop all aggression when you're asked to. Beat him up. The middle creature squeaks, causing the shark to smile awkwardly. He picks up a trident before coming to stop a few meters away from Ragativurk. Ragativurk? Maybe I should type it in on Google and be like, how do you say this thing? Even though it might not be correct. I am set. Confident, eh? 3, 2, 1. Shouting go, he dashes forward with the trident raised next to his head. He aims and flings at Ragsaverk, who manages to sidestep the projectile that gets lodged into the wooden floor. While Ran is on the back foot, that guy, the judge continues his assault, attempting a takedown on Ragsaverk, who backs off a step too far, and now has ample time to swing his staff from the left side of the shark, aiming for his neck. Stop! You see the shark closing his eyes to brace for the hit, but Ragsaverk had already stopped millimeters away from his throat. Nice control. Well done. That is good enough for this selection. You suck. Shut up. He helps himself up and resumes talking, ignoring the distant squeaks as he picks up the trident. Next up is a magical evaluation. I take it you know spells? Yes. Then it'll be spell augmented combat. Repeat the same exercise with magic, now allowed, but you shall still stop all aggression when you're asked. Proceed. On a fan chat, huh? 3, 2, 1. Shedding grin, he throws the trident at Ragnarok once more, imbued with water magic, accelerating it forward. You see the trident flying into the wolf's direction, but then, grasping vines break through the planks of the floor and snatch the trident off one of its edges. Wide-eyed in confusion, the Sharkin doesn't notice the planks break beneath him until it's too late. Vines sprawl around and latch onto his arms and body, pinning him in place. Alas, the judge had already admitted defeat. Internally, seeing his signature move nullified as easily as that. Why are you even here? Quit that. Your display is exaggerated and trite. Well, there goes my mood today. This mandatory job experience certainly does destroy my psyche. And no, that question wasn't an act. You don't need the guild with that potential. Just go learn from a druid master for a decenarium or so. Decanarium? Alas, I have no time. The wolf lowers the staff, and the vines slowly retract and disappear, freeing the shark. He doesn't seem to take it well, however. I hate your guts. Don't just dismiss my question, damn it. I didn't train for 3 years just to be beaten by some rankless novice. I'm not a novice, but I do not owe you a proper answer. I don't owe you a decent grading either. Don't forget this. He stares at Ragnarok for 2 seconds with malice and hatred before walking back to the table. The examiner's tantrum baffles you. Ragnarok is also staring at the judges in disbelief, but the others look unfazed about what the Sharkin just said. Hey, Frit, you're up. Be wary of his grass. Grass? Be wary of his grass. Finally! The second judge is a tiny raccoon with a surplus of energy. He bounces forward toward the weapon rack, picks up 2, 3, 4 daggers, 2 for each hand, and stops in front of the wolf. Consider yourself lucky to face me. Your shark friend doesn't seem to take the loss too well. You must not get developed examinees often. You talk funny, but yeah. Why does he get to do most of the fighting? Rhino never gets a chance to do his exam. He's almost never needed. Okay, so I guess it's like, you deal with each one depending on rank. In that case, you should consider yourself lucky to face me. Enough talk. Have at thee. Without warning, Frit throws a dagger at the wolf, who promptly dodges. Unlike the Sharkin, he is exceptionally agile and appears before him in an instant, catching Ragnarok by surprise. Grunting, the wolf attempts to back off from the tiny rogue, with a staff channeling power to summon wolves around him. The nimble raccoon predicts this from experience and plunges his dagger through each manifestation of magical energy before they manage to materialize. The summons dissipate into nothingness, while the raccoon rapidly closes the distance, approaching the range full of his daggers. He screeches and hops, springing to strike at the towering wolf's body. Barely able to react, Ragnarok elevates the ground beneath him with his stump, in hope of messing with the raccoon's accuracy. Frit thus lands only a scrape on the wolf's belly. Ragnarok uses this window of opportunity to raise a staff, controlling the stump that is now adjacent to the small creature. Numerous branches grow from the stump and attempt to grab onto the raccoon in the air. It connects for a second, but then the rogue vanishes into the black mist and reappears a few meters away in a blink of an eye. But one momentary contact was enough for the poisonous sap on the branches to be applied to the raccoon's skin. Knowing this, Ragnarok takes a moment to assess his wound, a bleeding cut from his abdomen. He would not be standing if the dagger had reached deeper. I hope that was Ray. With an obvious drive for more action. Was it Ray? Another dagger gets thrown through, though this time the druid anticipated and didn't even flinch. The raccoon uses his magic to reappear behind Rajavurk's back. However, a thick wall of roots rises from behind Rajavurk, blocking the backstab. Seeing this, the raccoon disappears and reappears again to his side, but the druid senses him and blocks a dagger with his staff's superior range. Rajavurk is now completely focused on defense and disregarding all forms of aggression. With an undivided focus, he senses the raccoon and reacts in time whenever he appears, like an impenetrable fortress. The little creature, on the other hand, starts to grow frustrated. Let's actually look up how you'd say that. Translate. Why is it Chinese traditional? Rank at Iverk.
Rongativik.
Rongativik? Okay. Rongativik?
Rongativik.
Okay. Rongativik strategy can be seen as cowardice in the other's lens. Enough. Your tactics are sharp but plain, and no same trick worked on me twice. He asserts, his voice loud yet deep and resonant, and his words echo throughout the room. I'm invincible so long as I'm vigilant. We are done here. No need for more injuries. Ah, what are you, a snail? How disgusting. And you train this exam as if your life depends on it, instead of showcasing your skills to us. You didn't think we'd actually kill you here, right? Rhino, a round of pain, go away. Raccoon shouts back at the table, specifically at the individual to the right, who is still half asleep. A single dismissive hand gesture, and the room surges in energy. Over the span of half a minute, the venue becomes tidy once more, and the combatant's injuries are completely reverted. It seems to mark the end of the entry exam, as the raccoon also bounces back to the table, joining the other two. You're not sure how Rajavurk I completely forgot. Had done for the exam, but his display of strength was quite memorable. You quitting? Quiet. Do your thing. Thank you, Sir Rajavurk. We'll discuss and decide your rank in a short notice. Please speak to any of the receptionists after 4 p.m. They'll inform you of your rank and privileges, if any. Most pleasurable. You have my gratitude. The Sharkin's attitude and speeches return formal, but his previous, very personal warning still lingers in your mind. Probably best not to get confrontational. About it, however. Bill proceeds to give him a polite bow as a farewell before leaving the room. You follow suit. His performance shows that he's at least truthful about the strong druid part of his persona. You're still skeptical about the prince part, but everything so far aligns with his explanations. Hey, Ran? Yes? You're quite strong. How long did it take you to learn that? A while. You stare at him, insisting on an answer. His reluctance yields slightly. Vergnor is a city amidst a vast forest. It's to be expected that druidism fostered. It is expected to be With ample dedication, even the untalented can be capable. Nature caller. What can calling nature do for you? A druid who isn't a recluse isn't the most common sight around here, so I'm curious. For me, mainly conjuring spirits, restoration magic, and bending nature to my will. You give him a confused look to prompt him to elaborate. It's not necessary to explain myself to an outsider, but I shall do my best. For us, deer is a primitive force behind natural phenomena, the drive behind the cycle of life. We try to understand Yeah, it's hard that... Sorry, it's reading on. It's been a bit of a day. I need more coffee. And harnesses power. Some create or lessen decay. Some hope to find omniscience through understanding. I simply focus on present and the living. Take no assumption, however, this does not have to equate to my mindset. You won't find me giving tender care to plants for one. He is quietly growling to himself. Did he speak a little too much for his liking? I think I get it, and don't worry. See, that wasn't so hard, was it? I simply need time adjusting to your prying curiosity. You find that most people aren't curious about a new face, prince or not. Quit being so cautious. If you're stuck with me in this journey of yours, at least open up to me, perhaps? Ugh. It's not that simple, and my words carry weight. And he is deep in thought again. After a moment, he switches to another topic to avoid awkwardness. He glances over to the mechanical clock behind you, then looks back to your face. There's an abundance of time before 4. We'll proceed to the smithy to exchange my valuables into usable coins. Then, with those, we will purchase some necessary supplies. The innkeeper was unfortunately correct. I must respect this land's business customs. Necessary stuff, like armor? No. I need basic survival tools, like knives, rations, and camp supplies. Most armor is detrimental to my fighting style. Oh, okay. Adventuring rations won't really suit your taste, though. Do you have an example to show? You search from your backpack and retrieve a sizable piece of dry biscuit, hard cheese, and some nuts. His face displays genuine repulsion and concern as he looks at the content of your hand. Prithee, throw this away. It's just a little old. Is this block even edible? He squints at the biscuits and requests one, and you hand it over. He uses his claws to tap against it before trying to snap it in half with both hands. His biceps contract for just a moment before he quickly gives up. Look, I'm strong, but this bread is much stronger and tougher than I am. This will only cause a chipped tooth. Don't be ridiculous. You're supposed to boil it in water or fat. I see. My mistake. But there must be something less dull. We can take a look. No promises, though. Let us move. Time goes by as you shop for provisions. Checking the time. With the smith and merchant profiting off the deals. Yeah. Confrontations like the one back in the inn were avoided. Metal chunks were remarkable in terms of purity, and he got paid a good amount of gold coins after the service fee. He then purchased some rather costly camping and exploration supplies, not wanting to bother with his financial management at all. He said nothing and returned to the guild with him. It's still the same sight with different people. Ragataverk waits in line to see the receptionist for information. By coincidence, is the same owl fellow that handed the wolf's inquiry. He speaks before Ragataverk even asks. I got news for you, sir. News. Good. Perhaps even bad news. Are you really supposed to know whether the news is good or not? No, but I took a tiny peek in there. I will not question your professionalism. Kindly reveal to me the outcome directly. Okay. Silver. What? I have almost bested the second judge. How is such a feat worth a mere silver rank? Ragataverk looks in your direction, waiting for your acknowledgement of his skills. Yes, I was a spectator, so they probably had to decide between silver and gold. Perhaps your martial skills didn't impress enough? No, It must be the result of that inept judge, and his inability to make an unbiased judgment. Ah, I see. Can I make a little comment if you don't mind? Please do. Entry exam judges change every week, so you may appeal if one or more knew you and sabotage your ranking. However, he looked left and right before revealing something to the two of you quietly. But your impression, attitude, and manners during the exam are actually part of their criteria. What? How does that make sense? You're mostly going to fight and explore, but you'll also be dealing with contractors sometimes, especially for more complex missions. It's not stated, otherwise everyone would just pretend. I should have hinted to you a little. Sorry, mister. You are far from being at fault, but still. He grunts out in annoyance and rubs his temple with one hand as he understands the meaning behind the Sharkin's words now. The Owlfolk retrieves an envelope and slides it underneath the glass panel before continuing in his rapid working tone. On a more positive note, welcome to the Adventurers Guild. This is your complimentary starter kit containing common map, a printed copy of guild regulations, and other information. This meant that we can begin taking quests on the board? Yes. Just a very quick note. The guild will not take responsibility for injuries you might sustain during your adventures, and will not compensate for any damages under most circumstances. More of this technical language. Look into my eyes and tell me if I'm weak. No, sir. Half-heartedly, Ragataverk stared at the owl, causing him to flinch slightly. His admiration returns, even stronger, however. I should now take my leave. Take care. Farewell, farewell. As the two of you walked away from the desk, to somewhere less busy to talk, Ragataverk turned back to face you with more dissatisfaction on his expression. Beyond his constant sternness, there's now a hint of concern in his eyes, despite his subconscious attempt to mask it. He surely held himself to the standard of achieving more than silver, and his failure in doing so is giving him subtle worry. A worry of shifts and postponements of his carefully crafted plan, which also affects you, who is accompanying him on his trip. He stood there and just looked at you, his calculating mind thinking of words to say that would not betray his shame, but nothing came. The silence creeps in and becomes increasingly loud. Honestly, I would have expected better from Prince as well. Yeah, he can prove himself. You know, your complex personality is not that easy for them to understand within those 5 minutes. It's fine. You prove that you're better than their evaluation. He listens to your word and gazes in your eyes for deception. Not finding your support to be backhanded, he gives you a grin. You have decent faith in me, one I shall not betray. Seemingly recovered from his temporary low, he proceeds to the quest board. Pinned on the board are multiple fine parchments, each with every detail of a quest. Unlike the board in the tavern, relying on trust and customs, the quests here are of higher esteem, dealing with more important matters. Either being aware of that or concerned with your rank being wood, the wolf prince's attention is only on the easier side of silver quests. After a short while of decision, he asks if you're comfortable with one he deems worthwhile. It kind of depends on what the quest is, you know? Like, is it like a single person quest or a multiple group quest? Because if it's a multiple group quest and we only got 1 silver, we might be in a bit of a pickle. Let's see. This first quest is a relatively simple one, traveling to a distant cave that should have ore deposits formed around this time of year. I mean, if it's like magic, I guess. Deposits don't tend to be seasonal unless, like, we're talking about, like, I don't know, a buildup of salt or sulfur, but that's not a seasonal thing, and also not ore. Whatever. With only mundane dangers, like wild animals on the way, and possible stalactites from the cave ceiling, you agree with this decision. That's a weird thing for a thing. But anyways, I think since we're, past the 25-minute mark, that is a good time to call it for this side play. So, please comment, because I like comments, times you like, dislike, tips, tricks, otherwise. If you like my YouTube and like it grow, then please like, subscribe, and check out the videos epic. Yeah. And please remember to spend your animals to help control the pet population. So when... Okay. And until next time, let's play. Yeah. Oh, and if you want to play this game, free on itch.io, and Patreon has the $5 for, the news version earlier. Hey, And until next time, another Let's Play, or side play, me, Move 6 of Sanctuary. Just a quick thing while we're at it. Are there any other things we have here? I just wanted to check out the side plays backups. Not really backups, but, Oh, benefits. I completely forgot about that one. And broken hubble woes. Yeah, I guess we need to do a couple of those. Yep. Anyways, thanks, and see ya.